Welcome to Sunday School Online. We hope you are having a wonderful summer. And Sunday is a special day, so we want to wish all the fathers a happy Father's Day. This week we are going to talk about Paul's escape. We have been talking about him for about 3 weeks, so we're going to go back and do some review. And I have a map here of the area that Paul taught in. He was born, remember, we studied this, he was born in Tarsus. And then we didn't quite talk about, he went to Jerusalem to study the words of God. And he was a very well-educated man. He was a good student. And in Jerusalem, he started teaching and became a leader of the church. But then he started persecuting Christians in Jerusalem because he thought they weren't following the words of God. And he got a lot of people in trouble. And then he heard there were all kinds of Christians in Damascus. Remember, we read that story? He was on his way to Damascus. And this is where I'm going to read from the Bible, the review of what happened on the way to Damascus. Before I do that, this is a part of the Mediterranean, and this is the area that Paul taught and preached in and lived in. Okay, the story of Paul's conversion. Paul and his friends were on their way to a city called Damascus. Suddenly, a bright light from heaven flashed around Paul. Paul fell to the ground and covered his eyes. "Paul, Paul," said a voice from the light, "why are you being mean to my followers?" The voice was Jesus. "Get up, Paul, and go into the city," said Jesus. "Someone will come and help you." When Paul stood up, he could not see. So his friends had to help him into the city of Damascus. And there was a man there named Ananias, who was a follower of Jesus. And Jesus had told him about Paul and said he wanted him to be one of his followers and that he was to go to him and help him. He'd been there about 3 days. So when Ananias saw Paul, he touched his face and Paul was able to see. At that point, Paul was baptized and became a follower of Jesus. Paul began to tell everyone about Jesus and what a wonderful person Jesus was and why we should follow him. Paul had changed. Then into our story today, it said Paul escapes. Well, what happened when Paul was in Damascus teaching about Jesus and why we should follow him? Those people had heard that he was there to trick them and to put them in jail and hurt them in many ways. Well, the people got really, really mad. And so they were going to do something to hurt Paul to get him out of the way. And this is where the story begins. Paul wanted to tell everyone about Jesus, but some people didn't believe him. They thought he was just hadn't really changed and he was there to trick them and capture them and put them in prison. And we're supposed to say a refrain called "down, down, down the wall." Go down the wall with Paul. So down, down, down the wall, go down the wall with Paul. Well, aren't you the same Paul who wanted to put all of the followers of Jesus in jail? Asked the people who did not believe Paul. Some of these people got so mad at Paul that they wanted to hurt him. They came up with a plan. Now, back in those days, every city had a huge wall around it because there was always somebody wanting to get in and cause trouble of some sort. So the only way you could get out of the city was through the gates, and they put guards at the gates, and Paul knew this, and he was having to go back home, and he just didn't know what he was going to do to get away from these dangerous people and to go back home. So let's say, down, down, down the wall with Paul. Well, Paul's friends got together and they said, we have a plan. We're going to put you in a basket with a big rope around it, and we're going to drop you way down this wall to the ground where you'll be safe and you can run and get away. Well, here's this big basket. Here's Paul in the basket with the rope around it. So say with me, down, down, down the wall with Paul. Wow, he safely got to the ground and was so happy that he was going to be able to escape all these troubles that were going to happen to him in Damascus. So, how do you think Paul felt hanging in this big basket going down the wall? My guess is he was plenty scared. And then, how do you think Paul felt when he safely escaped? Relief, don't you think? Yes. So we want to thank God for the followers of Jesus like Paul and his friends, because they help guide us in the way that we want to live our lives. So that's our story of the life of Paul so far. We learned that he was a great letter writer and that he would be writing letters to all these churches saying, be strong, stay faithful, because this is the right way to live your life. And Paul went through a lot of trouble, a lot of struggles. He was captured, imprisoned, and he said none of it mattered as much as the love and the joy he received from being a follower of Christ. So Paul is one of our great leaders. And at this point, let's look at our Bible verse. And this is words that would relate to Paul. Said, you can endure, meaning you can put up with all kinds of things through the power of the one who gives you strength. So Paul got his strength from being a follower of Christ. And that is our Bible lesson. And another thing we've been trying to learn is the books of the Bible. The first books that we were reading in the New Testament, is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those were all Gospels. They were people who had worked and lived with Jesus and learned from his teachings. Well, then now we're in the book of Acts, and Acts tells about these early Christians in the church and lets us know what it was like in the beginning when the Christians were traveling around and trying to do good and be kind to each other. So, it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Saddle your cat and ride right on. Then Acts. And we'll learn more as we go along. So thanks for being good listeners, and we hope you enjoy our program today. Miss Nan. Or no, music. Emily.
All right. I am Miss Emily, and we are going to do a song today with some sign language. This is one of my favorite songs to sing because it talks about how we as Christians should be loving. We should always love each other. We should always care about each other, and we should always share with each other. And Jesus taught us that, and also Paul taught us that in a way. So if you were in class with us a couple weeks ago, you might remember this song. We learned it really quickly. And if you're brand new, I hope that you can follow along. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the sign language. If you want to do it with me slowly while I'm going through it, that way you'll be a little bit prepared for the song. So the first part of the song, we say good morning. You make your arm go like this, just like the sun coming up. So it starts good morning, and then the next word is Lord. And for Lord, you make an L shape with your hand, and you bring it across your chest like this. So we say good morning, Lord. The second part says it's a beautiful day. So for beautiful, you're going to put your hand in front of your face like this, and like your face is beautiful. You're going to cover your face with your hands. So it's a beautiful day. And for day, we make the sun go back down. So good morning, you make it come up. For day, you make it go down. So we have good morning, Lord. It's a beautiful day. That's the start. And then we say good morning, Lord again. Good morning, Lord. I'm going your way. Because we always want to follow the way of the Lord. And I'm going your way, you make like two little legs walking across your hands, which is pretty funny. All right, so then the next part says, open my eyes. sign language kind of makes sense a lot of the time. It's like you're opening your eyes like this and let me see. So you're seeing with your two eyes. Someone who needs a friend like me. So it's like two friends holding hands or joining together, okay? I know that I, you know in your mind, can surely be, it's two fingers like this, okay? So I know that I can surely be loving, caring, love is like this, and we had that last week in Miss Nan's story, remember? Loving, caring, and then always sharing. Okay, so that second part, I'll walk through it one more time. Open my eyes and let me see someone who needs a friend like me. I know that I can surely be loving, caring, always sharing. Okay, so that is the whole song. This time I'll sing it and go through the motions and just do your best to follow along, okay? All right. Good morning, Lord. It's a beautiful day. Good morning, Lord. I'm going your way. Open my eyes and let me see someone who needs a friend like me. I know that I can surely be loving, caring, always sharing. Let me go back to the beginning. Good morning, Lord. It's a beautiful day. Good morning, Lord. I'm going your way. Nice job. You can repeat that. You can hit pause, go back, watch that as many times as you want to so you can get those motions down. Very nice job. All right, next we're going to have Miss Nan, who has two special crafts for you.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Miss Nan, an elementary school teacher at Christ Church, and we're so glad you're with us today. I do have two crafts today. The reason why is one is about the story we just learned, Paul, and coming down the wall in the basket, but the other one is because today is a really special day. It's Father's Day. If you're watching it on Sunday, so if you're watching it before, this is a craft that you can do beforehand. If you want to do something special for your dad or another man who kind of acts like a dad in your life, maybe a stepfather or an uncle or a big older brother or a grandfather. If you don't have any of those, you can always make a card for your heavenly Father, and he'll know that you've made it for him. So we've got the two crafts. So we're going to start off with the Paul in the basket craft. And so you should have a piece of paper that looks like this. Now I drew these red lines right here because these are going to be cut lines. And these dotted lines are going to be fold lines. There'll be a fold line right here in between Paul. So this is what the finished product's going to look like. Let me show you that first so that you can do your own down, down, down the wall. Here's our little Paul. He has a front and even a back. Down the wall with Paul. So what you're going to do, the first thing is you're going to color your Paul, your little man right there. And I colored the inside, but you don't really need to do that. So that would be this side. And I thought about coloring the outside, too much work. And this looks baskety enough. So you don't really need to do that. So you're going to color your Paul. Then you're going to take scissors and cut him out just like this. My Paul. Now, if you see right here, there's a little dotted fold line that goes right there. So you're going to fold that right in half. And now you have a front and back Paul. So then you're going to take tape. And we're going to put tape right here on the side, just so we kind of tape him shut a little bit. There's one side, and here is the other side. Now, here comes what I think is kind of the fun part. You're going to take either maybe a cotton ball or two cotton balls or a tissue, you know, the kind you blow your nose on, but a clean one. And you're going to open this up. Now, I want to remind you while I'm trying to get this open that if you struggle or if you're not moving as fast as me, because I've already done some of this in advance, you can push the pause button, catch up, and then push play, and you'll see what the next step is, and then push pause, and then do that next step. So you've got plenty of time to do this, or you can go back and watch it again. So anyhow, here's my little paw, and you can see right here, he's open on the bottom, and that's where I'm going to put my little tissue in. And what that's going to do, it's going to make him kind of like a stuffed animal paw. So now he's just a little, you know, stuffed man, so he looks more like a real person. Now it's time to work on the basket. So you're going to cut around the 4 edges here. And I've almost got it done. You can see I'm still working down here to cut that. So we'll cut that off. Now, if you look, remember I told you I put these red lines? You're going to cut those 4 red lines. Now yours are not red, yours are solid black lines. I did mine red so that you could see it better. So I'm going to cut in on those, but I'm not going to cut where this dotted line is, and yours is much fainter. I went over mine dark so you could see it better. So here we go, cutting. 1 corner, 2, 3, and 4. Now, looks like this. So now we fold it in on this dotted line, like so. 1, let me do this one, 2, all 4 sides, and you can kind of see this is moving towards a basket. 4. Now you take your tape, or you can use glue if you want to. I'm using tape because it goes faster. A little piece of tape, and what you do is you kind of overlap that a little bit so it forms a square, and you tape it. We'll do that on all 4 sides. Now once we do this, this one's sticking a little. The next thing you're going to do is if you have a hole punch, you're going to punch holes in all 4 sides of this basket. And here's the thing, I don't have a hole punch. So we'll show you an alternative. A little bit tricky. You take it, you figure out where you want your hole to be, and you take your scissors, you want it down a little bit so it doesn't rip, and you just put a little teeny tiny, oh my hand's in the way, let's turn it this way, a little teeny tiny snip right there. So when you open it up, see there's just a little hole right there. Yeah. We're going to do that 1 on each 4 sides. Basket's coming together. Now I'm doing mine really, really quick here. But you can take your time, and like I said, if you want to pause it, you can. So I have all 4 holes. There's 1 here, 1 over here, 1 right here, and 1 right here. Now, you should have 4 pieces of yarn or string. So you're going to put each of those pieces through the hole. It's not going through real well. Here we go. Here's a good hole. Stick it there. This might be a little tricky. It's like I'm having problems, so I wetted it a little bit. My mama taught me that when I was learning to sew, to make the thread go through the needle easier. So there. So it's through, and then you're just going to double it. You're going to do that on all 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to have like 8 little pieces of string hanging around. And then this part I found a little bit more difficult. So you might want a parent or an adult to help you. You're going to tie all 4 of those together up here at the top. So it'll look like this. See how they're all tied up here? And this is like they were lowering the basket down and probably had 3 or 4 in, holding on to these ropes and trying to get Paul down. And then you put your little paw in the basket and you can act out the story. There he is. He's laying down because he's hiding. Now he's sitting up looking around. Oh, where am I going? Oh, don't drop me. So that's our first craft. Our second craft, as I said, is for Father's Day. If there's somebody in your life that you would like to make this craft for, and even if it's after Father's Day, you can still make it. This is what it's going to look like, this cute little dog. And it says, Dad, make no bones about it, your top dog. So you should have 2 pieces of paper that look like this. Obviously, this is the bottom of the dog and this is the face. So you're going to cut around this square right here and cut that shape out. And you're going to color the dog's body and color the dog's head. Now here's the tricky part. When you color the dog's head, you're going to turn it around and you're going to kind of look through your paper and see where the ears are, and you're going to color the back of the ears too. Because as you can see, here's the front of the ear, but they're going to flop down a little bit. So you want to make sure you get the back. So I've done that here. Here's my partially cut out. I'm going to finish cutting it out real quick. And this little dog I made gray, and just for fun, I made its tail brown and look up at a little heart on his chest, just to be sweet. And here's my little dog's face. And before I cut out his ears, I went ahead and turned him over, and see, I went ahead and colored the ears are gray back there. So I'm going to cut it out real quick. Then comes the really fun part. Now, like I said, this is going to take a while to cut out, because it took me a while when I was doing it. So you can push pause and get your little dog all cut out after you've colored it, and then move forward. So now we have 2 parts. We have the head and we have the body. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue stick or your glue, and you are going to not do the ears. You're going to do the face and the bone. You're going to put glue on. I'm going to set it down so I can put glue on it better. Okay, so now this is all sticky back here, but I didn't do my ears. And then you're going to attach the face to the body. Now you can do it straight on, or you can tilt his little head to the side or her little head to the side. So I'm going to do this one straight on, and we'll hold it back up here in a minute to show you. You can do anything you want. There it is. But now see how my ears are standing up? So we're going to bend them a little bit so they're floppy. So you have a floppy-eared dog. Now, when I first did this, I bent him straight down, but look what happens. It covers his eyes. So what you're going to do when you bend it, you're going to bend it a little bit to the side, just like that. And then you have, you can see it's colored, you have your little floppy-eared dog in the card that says, Dad, make no bones about it, your top dog. So I hope you guys enjoyed doing those crafts. And if this is on Facebook or somewhere where you can post it, take a picture of either your basket or of your little dog and post it down, because we like to see them. I hope you guys have a great week. And now we're going to turn back to say goodbye and have a blessing with Miss Ilene. Miss Ilene, I believe you're on mute. You'll need to unmute. We forget that.
I know that was a fun craft, and I know you're going to have a lot of fun making it and sharing it with that special dad, granddad, uncle, whoever. But anyway, let's say our prayer. If you'll fold your hands and close your eyes and say with me, repeat, Dear God, thank you for loving us, for showing us how to be good followers. We love you, Lord. Amen. Have a great week and join us when you can. See you next time. Bye.
Bye, boys and
Bye.
girls.